Still recording? Okay, awesome. Good morning, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you guys for coming on Monday. I know we had a great session on Monday, but today is something really special that I'm so excited to share with you guys. You all know that mindset is something that is extremely important to our real estate business. You hear me talk about it all the time. You hear Stephanie talk about it all the time. And I was just thinking about who else could I bring here to the table to really kind of expand your thought process and give you maybe a different perspective than what you hear from us all the time, myself, Manny, and Steph. And the very first person that came to mind is Samantha Huger, and she's going to talk a little bit about herself in just a minute. But I've known Sam for ages, probably longer than what I want to admit, but I've known her for a very long time. And she's going to talk about some of the things that she does with mindset. This girl has started multiple businesses. She's an amazing entrepreneur. She particularly leads and coaches females to grow their business online and to create a sustainable wealth and legacy, right? So I couldn't have thought of a better person to join us this morning. She's absolutely special. She's coming to us live from Arizona. She'll talk a little bit about that. That's why it's so sunny and gorgeous over there right now versus being overcast here in SoCal. So without further ado, I just want to introduce to you Samantha Huger, who's joining us. So everyone, welcome Sam.
Oh my gosh,
welcome.
Thank you, Halley. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
That was the best introduction ever. I'm over here blushing. Yes, so thank you, Halley. I appreciate it. I would describe myself as a serial entrepreneur. I kind of have my hands on all different kinds of things, including real estate. I have my real estate license here in Arizona, and I've had it for about 4 years now. And I want to say that I've done between 50 and 60 deals in the last 4 years. So we've kept fairly busy, and busy enough where like real estate isn't my number one focus. I focus on all different kinds of things. And so like it has been really good for us at a really good balance in my life. Halley brought me on because I also just created a mindset planner, like a manifesting planner and a mindset planner. And I want to talk to you guys about how important it is to have a really great mindset and also to stay organized. I'm sure you guys are figuring this out, especially as new realtors. You go through all of your classes, you get ready to go, you join with your brokerage, and then you're like, oh, wow, this is a lot. What do I do now? And especially with the times changing with the pandemic, it's really important to keep a really great mindset. And so for me, I wanted to create something to help people to create a really clear vision about where they want to go and get organized and then take daily action to move towards those goals. So for me, I think the most important thing in accomplishing anything is getting that really clear vision and actually taking the time to do like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can do in a day to really visualize, this is my future self. This is where I am going. This is where I want to take my life. And so what I do is I do an actual morning ritual. I think Halley was going to ask me about my morning ritual. And this whole book is kind of like my morning ritual book, and I'm sharing it with you guys. So for myself, I like to wake up early, but I want you guys to know that if you're not a morning person, don't worry. It's not like a must-have. Some people are night people. Some people get all their really great thoughts out and get really inspired and take action at nighttime. For me personally, it's in the morning. So if you are a nighttime person, I suggest creating an evening ritual for yourself that includes these things that are going to help you to take action and to set your goals and to keep moving forward. So for me, my morning ritual is waking up early, having my coffee, and then I read some personal development. I have basically read just about everything you can possibly think of for personal development. And just whatever I feel like I need a little bit more inspiration for that day, I'll pull something out. I don't keep it too rigid. I don't tell myself you have to finish this entire book. Rigidity is not something that that sits well with me and my personality type. So I'll just pull out a chapter of something, or I'll listen to a podcast. If you have a favorite podcast, it's a great way to wake up in the morning, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you have time for. And then what I like to do is do a little bit of my visualization time. So I'll close my eyes. I'll think about, what is my future self? Who is she? What are her daily actions? Where is she going? What is she accomplishing? And most importantly, how does it feel to be her or him? If this is you listening, how does it feel to be that person that I am striving for? And when you start embodying that person and you really start taking it to heart as how that person feels, what kind of daily actions do they have? What is their mindset? It's almost kind of like fake it till you make it. You're faking it because you're not quite there yet, but you are embodying who that person is. And so I try and take, 5 minutes, just whatever time I have to do that future self visualization. What does my career look like? What does my home look like? How is my health and fitness? How am I giving back to my community or to those around me? What are my relationships like? You can go through these different main pillars of life in general and just kind of visualize where you're going. And then I like to go through my planning, and this is where I use my planner. I will track my habits. So in the planner, there's a section on the weekly pages where you can set different habits that you want to track. And then I'll fill in what habits I, accomplished yesterday. So for me, it's like working out, posting on my social media, different things that I feel like are going to move the needle forward for me and things that I am working on currently. I'll go through what's my schedule for the day? What are my to-dos for the day? And then most importantly, and I think this is what sets this planner apart from other planners, is that there's a section for daily gratitude, daily affirmations, and your daily intention. So your daily intention is to me, it's not necessarily like a to-do list or a goals list or anything like that. It's my intention, like today, my intention was to have more focus, was to be more focused today, not be scrolling too much, because I definitely get caught up in that. And just your overall, how you want to feel today. That's the daily intention. Then there's also a section for your daily gratitude for mindset and manifesting. And especially when things get turbulent like they are now, having that gratitude is so extremely important. And then also affirmations. You guys might know this already. Having some kind of an affirmation, even one that you are using the same thing every single day and you're repeating it to yourself over and over again, are so very important. So I have my planning portion of my morning ritual, and then I'll usually work out, or I'll sit at the computer and start working on my to-do list, one of the two. So in the planner as well, and I know Halley wanted to ask me about my morning ritual. In the planner, there are 2 pages with suggestions on how you can create your morning ritual, different ideas for your ritual to add in there. And then there's a schedule page where you can actually, so these are the ideas of different things, and you can add your own in here. Obviously, I'm sure I didn't cover everything that somebody would possibly want in their morning ritual, but then there's also a section on the next page where it's okay, first thing, wake up early. Next thing, drink some coffee. That's my second one on my day. Next one, meditate, write and journal, things like that. So, Halley, did you want to ask me some questions?
I'm going to stop and take you back let's go back a bit. Okay. So
okay.
Obviously we showed your planner, and thank you. And I'm super excited. Just to remind you guys, I'm going to be giving away 2 of Sam's planners today. So thank you for being on. You'll know by the end of the call whether or not you're going to get the planner, and I'll make sure it gets to you. So, so let's go back. Mindset. Why do you make a planner? Why is it important to plan our day? What inspired you to create this planner?
Well, for me, I honestly, I made it for myself because I needed it. That's what I say. Like, this planner came to life because I needed something to get me to remember what's my to-dos for today, what can I be grateful for today, what habits do I want to cultivate, what are my goals, what actions can I take to move towards those goals.
I love that. And it's so important that that's always at the forefront of our brains, right? That it becomes a tangible object when we manifest this and we write it down on a tangible object. It creates our goals. It gives us a much better grasp and realization, and again, tangible way to be able to assess our progress, to be able to celebrate our wins, to be able to focus our brain and our minds on that one specific goal, that one thing, like we've learned about from Gary Keller, whatever that is. It's so much easier rather than having it float around your brain. You know, it comes in and out, you get busy, you've got kids, you've got work, you've got clients, whatever that is, you can forget about it. So I love what you've done. I've always been a fan of actual physical planners because, again, I like that tangible connection. Now, a lot of people create it with the Google calendars, and that's great if you think that way, or, you know, they will create a digital version, which I know you've done a digital version of your planner as well, if that's something that, that interests you a lot more. But I think the thought process behind it, it's not just a schedule. It's not just a to-do list, right? Our planners and our manifestations need to happen with our goals in mind. They need to happen with our daily important tasks in mind, right? It's important that we keep that. So thank you, Sam, for sharing about that. So talk to me about your manifesting journey. You know, when did you realize that it was important in your life to be able to be kind of this on a higher plane mentally, if that makes any sense?
Really, it started when I started doing personal development. It's been about 8 years now, probably. I grew up in a household where it was like personal development was a dirty word. Personal development was like things that that rich people who did bad things and who were bad people did, or who it just wasn't something that was encouraged at all growing up. And so I really had no idea what it was until about 2012. I started doing Tony Robbins. And my mind blew up. I had no idea that, like, or I'd never even really thought about it, that like my life, I'm in complete control of my life, where I want to go. And I can also do certain things every single day and work towards being a better me. So that was really when it started, was when I started reading personal development, doing Tony Robbins. And then I also had my mind completely blown when I started, when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And that's where my real estate journey started. And that was about 2013. My fiance and I started wholesaling houses here in Arizona. And we were just talking about this, how far him and I have come in the last 7 years is insane. And I think a huge part of that, 100%, I would say, is having the mindset, expanding your knowledge and seeing yourself where you want to be and taking action to get to where you want to go.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And that just really kind of goes into my next question, is what is the law of attraction? For those of you guys that don't know what it is, what is this thought process that you know, putting this out there in the universe? Kind of describe that, and why is it important that we keep that as realtors in our mindset?
To me, the first thing that comes to mind is like attracts like. So if you have a mindset right now during the pandemic that the market is going to be low, there's no clients that are going to be wanting to buy houses, nobody wants to list their houses right now during a pandemic, if that is your mindset, then that is what you will get. However, on the flip side, if you have a mindset of there is so much opportunity with every single thing that happens in the market, I just need to find that opportunity. Where can I expand my business in the midst of this pandemic? How can I change my mindset to a mindset of abundance and growth versus a mindset of lack and, stagnation? So to me, the law of attraction is making sure that I am keeping my mindset as a future-based mindset, not as a fear-based mindset. A fear-based mindset is a really good way to find that lack, find that stagnation, have, a lack of clients, have a lack of deals going on. But if you are in this mindset of clients are coming to me, asking me to help them buy a house, I have people reaching out to me, asking me to help them to list their home for sale. There's so much opportunity all around me. I will be able to find it. And it's not just about always, especially, I want you guys to remember this, it's not always about knowing the how. You kind of have to let the how go. Because when you get stuck in the how, like, how am I going to bring in these clients? How am I going to have these deals under contract? You can really mess yourself up and make it so that you're actually holding yourself back. So let go of the how and just step into the feeling of, this is how it would feel if I have all these clients coming to me. This is how it would feel when I have, 5 houses under contract at one time, and step into that feeling. Don't worry about the how.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And a lot of you've heard of or seen or read The Secret, which where a lot of people became familiar with the law of attraction, and that positive energy absorbs and attracts other positive energy, right? It's that thought process. I had a conversation with one of my agents once who said, I think this is a bunch of, excuse my language, BS, and I don't think it works. And why would I ever use the law of attraction? Why would I ever think positively? Like, I'm going to be getting a listing today, having no idea where this listing is coming from, but putting that in your mindset. And I told him, why not? Like, why not try this? Why not have some faith? Why not believe? Why not expand your brain and keep those doors open and positive? Because what's the worst that's going to happen? What is the worst that's going to happen? You have to let go of your fears and fear of failure. Because what if that listing doesn't come to you today? So what? You're still alive. You're still going to wake up. You're still going to be a realtor, right? You still are going to have the same opportunities. And maybe it's going to come the next day, or maybe it's going to come the next day. But I can guarantee you, if I'm waking up today, there's no way I'm going to get a listing. I don't have any leads. I don't have any active clients in my pipeline that I think that this is going to come from. I guarantee you won't get a listing that day. That is one thing that I for sure can guarantee you. But yeah, I think it's interesting. If you guys haven't seen or watched, read The Secret, read up on the law of attraction. I think it's really important. And a lot of really, really successful realtors are implementing that mindset on a very high level in their lives and in their business. So I love what Rebecca asked, and this will kind of bring us into our next topic here as we're chatting, is how Rebecca said, how do you separate your work life and find a balance that you're not working 24/7 and don't get burnt out? So burnout is a big thing for us, right? I think any realtor who's working 24/7, especially when we're newer, like Rebecca is newer in the business, we can feel like we're working all the time. So Sam, what are some of the things that you do to separate your work and life?
I think it's really important to set boundaries. And that's something that it's okay to tell your client what your boundaries are for phone calls and texts ahead of time. So for myself, no real estate business happens after 7 o'clock. There's nothing really that can be done unless it's an actual emergency. And on the weekends as well. It's not like you can call title on the weekends and ask them for, can you fix this? So making sure that you, and it's totally okay to do this, to tell your client, hey, just so you know, I make it a priority to have family time after 7 o'clock. And I usually don't start doing any business in the mornings until 8 o'clock, because that's when, the ball starts rolling and businesses are open. You could even push that back to 9 o'clock if you want. And it's good to set those boundaries and to tell your clients that up front. Another thing that I do, and this is so important, I think more people need to do this, is I don't have notifications on for hardly anything, like nothing, no social media notification. And I have built my businesses on social media for the last 6 years, but I don't have a single Instagram notification. I don't have a single Facebook notification. I know it can be really exciting when you're first starting out and you want to make sure that you're really prompt with getting back to people if they message you or if they comment on something. But at the same time, you need to make sure that you're not constantly being interrupted with your, you're in the middle of doing something that's moving the needle forward, and all of a sudden you get a Facebook notification and you want to message that person back. It's really not the best way to grow your business. Is it in the one thing that they talk about, not multitasking?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the concept of focusing literally on one thing at a time, the most important thing you need, even if it's only for a minute or two.
Mm-hmm. So that would be my two biggest tips is set those boundaries and let your clients know up front what those boundaries are. And then also having the most minimal amount of notifications. And it even helps if you have like your business hours. So like I just said, like my business hours are basically from 8 to 7. You could make it a little bit more strict even. And then you don't always have to respond to things immediately. If it's not an emergency, you don't always have to respond immediately. That is other people coming into your energy, asking for your help. You don't always have to be right there saying, oh, I'm here, I'm here. They'll respect you for respecting yourself and your own time.
Wonderful, thank you. Hey, sorry you guys, I just realized we had a ton of people waiting. I am so sorry, everybody.
Hi guys, welcome to the party.
Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the party. I'm so sorry. I thought I was at the top of the list. Thanks. Wow, we just doubled. Thank you, everyone. If you're just joining us, Sam, if you don't mind, we'll stay a little bit later. That way the people that just got in can participate. So thank you for joining us, you guys. I'm sorry. My bad. I wasn't letting you in. I apologize about that. So now I'm watching the top. We're just sitting here with Sam Huger, and we're talking a little bit about our focus and how we work on creating that balance in our lives in real estate here. So thank you, Sam. I love that. So how do you plan your day given that you have multiple businesses? This is a good question. How do you manage your energy and focus throughout the day?
Well, Halley, I'll be totally honest with you. My big thing is taking inspired action. Like I said, with my personality type, I start shutting down if I'm super rigid. So what I feel inspired to do for the day is what I will do. So like, for instance, if I felt really inspired to make some client calls for the day, to check in on past sales, to, get on Postable and send out cards and schedule those, like whatever I feel like this is my inspired action for the day, this is what I can get really excited about and actually accomplish. That's what I want to do, because for me, I just want to simply make sure that I am taking action every day to move the needle forward. If I get too rigid with myself, and this isn't the case for everybody, but for me, if I get too rigid with myself and say, this is what I have to do every single day, no matter what, I start shutting down. And so for me, inspired action.
And I love, Sam, how you said, this is what works for me. I think that's something really important to resonate that we need to repeat, which is we need to base our schedules, our activities about what works for you. Now, as a new agent, you may not know what works for you. So take tips from people like Sam, myself, other producers in the office, like we have Eileen on here. She's fantastic. And Nina. Take those activities and mold them to what works for you, what motivates you. Identify what, like Sam said, identify what you appear as obstacles in yourself, your mindset, or your business, and find ways around it. You don't just stop your activities. You don't just say, oh, I'm too overwhelmed, so I'm only going to work on my real estate business today. Or I'm too overwhelmed, I'm not going to grow my social media accounts today and following today. You have to be able to find a way to integrate this into your life, whatever that may look like.
I have one more tip, actually, I just thought of. It's been studied, like how long an adult attention span is, and it's actually only about 45 minutes. You can actually really only, and then after that your productivity goes down. And so I have this, I can't think of the name of it, but I use Google Chrome on my computer, and I have this extension that is basically kind of like a widget that you can install into Google Chrome, and it sets a timer for every time that I sit down at my computer, and it knows that I am on my computer doing stuff, or on the internet doing stuff, that it will start the timer for 45 minutes. And then after that, it dings me and it clears everything off, and it tells me I need to go take a break. And the optimal break time, supposedly, from the study that I read at least, was 17 minutes. And so it tells me that there's a 17-minute break. And so what I'll do is I'll get up, I'll stretch, I'll move my body, I'll go grab some more coffee, I'll go make myself lunch, I'll walk around the block, I'll take my dog around the block, I'll go play on the trampoline with my son, like whatever it is. 17 minutes, get away, and then come back to it after 17 minutes, and the timer starts again. And that's another way that I really keep myself focused without losing productivity.
I love that. Take your work in short intervals. It's okay to, again, Sam, we were talking about the one thing, but it's okay to focus and keep your activities time-based. I love that idea. What a really cool widget. I'm sure we could look at that, or you can give me the information later.
I'll find it for you.
Yeah, I know one of my friends, she has this little timer thing that she'd gotten on Amazon, where it was like one side is 10 minutes, looks like a dice, and you flip it, and then one side is 45 minutes. And that's what she uses. And every 45 minutes, she gets up from her desk, she walks around, she gets a drink of water. She's working from home right now, so she goes and checks on her kids, does whatever she needs to do, and then gets right back to work. Because like Sam said, that attention span for adults is you're going to be your most productive time for learning, for researching, for reading, for writing, say if you're starting a blog or something like that. That's a great time to be able to do it. So, okay, so I have a couple more questions. Just a reminder, you guys throw questions in the chat for Sam. We'll keep her for a couple extra minutes. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about social media, because those of you guys that don't follow Sam, Sam has an amazing social media growing. That's where she gets most of her clients, and you are definitely an expert on branding. I can comfortably, confidently say that. So social media, how do we keep things healthy? Because sometimes, like you said, with the notifications, sometimes social media can become a negative thing. It can become a comparison thing. It can become a, less than, greater than thing. What are your tips for staying healthy when it comes to our social media mindset?
Well, I think it's great to follow people who inspire you, but when those people, if you're getting into the mindset of I am less than them, I'll never be as good as them, that's when I want to remind you that you need to stay in your own lane. It's taken me a long time to really realize that, and to not compare myself to other people, but to let other people inspire me, instead of thinking, oh, I wish I could do that, but I'm never going to get there. Start thinking about, like, that person is paving the way and proving that I could do it too. So yes, it's great to take inspiration from other people who are doing great things with their social media in a way that you would want to do it as well, and kind of mold it into, this is how I want to run my social media. It's similar to theirs, but it's still me, never copying somebody, and always just thinking like, I'm staying in my own lane. I can do this too. I'm going to celebrate this person for their wins, because they are showing me what's possible for me. And I think that's really important. And it's hard. It's a practice. It's not like you're going to wake up one day and you're going to always remember what I'm saying here. It's a practice and reminding yourself to stay in your own lane.
I love that. Stay in your own lane. That's great.
This is a good question from Ronnie. And I get this question a lot. This is probably the most common question. And I think it's always personal preference. Everything is always personal preference. But for me, I've built a lot.
Can you read it out loud?
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, that's
Do you recommend separating your personal Facebook and Instagram accounts from your business, or do you combine personal and business together? I combine personal and business together because, and this is what I was going to suggest to you guys if Halley was going to ask me about like how do you grow your social media business as a realtor. You guys, talking about real estate all the time is boring. Not, no offense, but it's boring, and people are they want to work with you because they like you. So showing the people that follow you on social media about your personality, about what interests you, about your hobbies, and also the fact that you're a real estate agent is what is going to make you a personable person that they want to work with. It's going to show them your integrity. It's going to show them a little bit more about you. So making your social media a sneak peek into your life. So for me, what I like to do a lot is obviously I'm sharing my day-to-day stuff, but then here and there I'll share, oh, I'm writing up a contract right now for some really great clients. Oh, we had a closing. I'm so excited for these guys. Oh, I'm at this house. I'm getting ready to show it. Sometimes I'll do Facebook Lives where I do a live open house. But to say that my social media is strictly real estate, it is not. It's all about different facets of my life, different things that I am interested in, and also sprinkling in real estate here and there. And but it's also important to make sure that you are showing up as a local expert, right? So if you are out at a restaurant in Long Beach, like sharing, this is my favorite restaurant in Long Beach, or this is a little hidden gem boutique here in Long Beach, showing that you are the local expert in that facet is great as well.
Mm-hmm. I love that, Sam. You know, when you separate them, I think you're doing twice the work without twice the reward. You know, because then you're feeling like you have to create content for one or the other. And not many people want to follow you just for your listings, you know, just for your pictures of the houses that you drive by, or market share, you know, market rates. Again, social media is that opportunity for us to be able to build a personal connection with our unknown client, right? It's a way that people can log on and see who you are, who's your brand, what is your business about. You know, what does it mean to have Sam as my realtor? What does it mean to have Halley as my realtor? You're able to log on and to get that instant connection that is so important right now, because we don't have all those opportunities anymore. Without, you know, we still can't do open house here. You know, we still can't even door drop in most cases, or door knock. So a lot of people build their businesses that way. Mm-hmm. I love that, Sam. So kind of our last question, if you guys type any more questions there on the side that I have for you. So Sam and I aren't from here. Y'all know that I'm from Idaho, and I love how it comes out every once in a while. But Sam and I grew up in Idaho, actually. And I just want to talk and get your advice, because Sam, you started your business in an area that you didn't really know anybody, right? You moved to Arizona. You didn't really have many connections. What would you suggest to people who are on here growing their business without a strong sphere in their area? What are some things that they could do to be able to connect and make those contacts?
Well, one thing that is always good is to go to your local chamber of commerce and stop by and say hello. Get involved in things that are going on in the community and promote the things that are going on in the community. If there is some kind of a fundraiser or like a farmer's market, if something like that, sharing about it, promoting other small businesses is a great way to help you to get your name out there more. For me, what I did when I moved to Arizona is I started just sending, and this sounds bad, but like, or maybe, I don't know, I started sending friend requests to people in Flagstaff because I wanted to get to know them. I wanted to know what they were doing, if I can support their business. However you can find ways to help other people is a really great way to help yourself. So I started sending friend requests for people in Flagstaff. I started participating in Flagstaff, Arizona groups, started posting, and then that allows you to post your listings in those groups. That allows you to create new connections, to show people that you're here and this is what you're doing. You're a real estate agent, and it kind of pulls them into your circle.
I love that. Those are great ideas. And getting involved with the community is a great way to be able to start your sphere. I always preach, I've been one to preach about nonprofits are a great opportunity because nonprofits evoke a lot of emotion to those involved, right? There's an instant connection because you have a connection of greater good of giving, whether it be a food kitchen, you know, a homeless shelter, whatever that may be. And so people are automatically going to like, know, and trust you when you're supporting the thing that they like, know, and trust, right? So those of you guys, we've talked in the morning and we've talked about, oh, I'm new here. I don't know anyone here. I don't have a sphere here. That's not an excuse, right? That is not a reason that you can't grow your business because you are given multiple opportunities. You just may need to go out there and get them like Sam shared.
Mm-hmm.
I love
and
that.
it's funny you say know, like, and trust, because when I do trainings like this, that's one of the first things I say is to build your social media, and to have people choose you as their realtor, you want to show them who you are so that they know, like, and trust you to ask you, hey, Halley, I'm ready to buy a house. Can you help me out?
I love that. I love that. Thank you, Sam, so much for sharing. We kept you a little bit longer. For those of you guys that joined in a little bit late, you know, I apologize about that. My bad. But Sam, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. If you guys don't follow her on social media, it's at Samantha Huger on Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good, perfect. She's also on Facebook. So before you go, though, we're going to be giving away 2 of Sam's planners that we talked about, so you guys can start manifesting your money with the Law of Attraction planners. So Sam, what I'm going to do, I just want you to pick 2 names there on the side, and that's who's going to win the planners. Okay, so you just pick 2 at random, and those will
be. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close my eyes, and whatever one my mouse is on, Deb. Long Beach, Deborah?
Oh, cool. Deborah's actually my assistant team leader. Congratulations, Deborah. Good one. Do it again. Do another one.
Okay. Oh, that didn't work. How about Carmen?
Oh, Carmen. Congratulations, Carmen. Cool. Carmen's a great one. She joins a lot of the morning sessions. So thank you guys for joining us. For typing in the side. Any last words of wisdom before we let you go?
Just, real estate is not easy, you guys, but it can be so incredibly rewarding. So I want you guys to always remember to stick with it and to have a growth mindset. When you have that growth mindset of like meeting your challenges from a place of this is helping me to become a better agent, it will go so far for you, meeting those challenges and overcoming them and realizing this is going to help me to become better at what I do.
I love that. Thank you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week. There's no team meeting today, so we'll see you later in the trainings. Oh, hi, Deborah. Deborah's my assistant team leader here. Deborah, you
just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you. I put it out there that I wanted one of those planners. I was like, oh, I want it. And all of a sudden she says, Deb, I'm like, does she?
Yeah. The law of attraction in effect as we speak.
There you go. There you go. Thanks.
Deborah, have a good morning. Have a good day. You know, make sure you're keeping that growth mindset. You know, myself and the other leadership, we're here for you. We want you to succeed. You're not on an island, so reach out to us because we're here to support you. But thank you guys. Have a good rest of your day. And thank you, Sam, for joining us. You're fantastic.
Thank you.
I miss you.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Stop.